Hey, Kristin again. Here for another reaction. This time, this is actually the second politically incorrect type themed song that I'm doing. My last one was older one, 23 years old to be more specific. That was called Politically Correct by SR71. And this one is probably from about 2018 or so by MacDonald called Politically Incorrect. So I just kind of, you know, there were two songs that I liked from different, different times. And I thought it'd be cool to, kind of, not really compare them because they're different kinds of music, but I just thought it would be cool to have a little theme going. So let's get started.
My generation's afraid of opinions. Y'all so intolerant. They're ashamed of themselves because they're privileged and white, or they're black and the opposite. You get charged with harassment for hugging a woman to give.
Go back just a bit.
Generation's afraid of opinions. Y'all so intolerant.
Yeah. I mean, the people I personally know, I feel like I don't, that I'm aware of, I don't know a whole lot of woke people personally. Like, as far as the few people I know who I knew when I was, like, younger. But that could just be because, the small town I grew up in was, I mean, especially being Maryland, it was still, it was a small town. And little known fact about even, in places like Maryland, that's a very deep blue state, you have counties, most of the counties and stuff, and the small towns are actually pretty red. If you look on election night, I mean, I'm not even in Maryland anymore, but sometimes I still find it interesting to check out the little map and see, places that I've lived before. And yeah, it's kind of funny because, at the time, I guess I was, a lot younger when I lived there, so I didn't really think of it as much. But where I grew up, where I lived, basically from third grade on was it was a small town, nothing, definitely not a city. And yeah, I don't know, I guess you could say it wasn't particularly like liberal that I can remember. Actually, I don't remember it being like particularly any one way. But then again, I probably blocked out a lot from that time because of experiences I had. But let me go back one more time, make sure I knew what I was gonna say.
Generation's afraid of opinions.
Oh yeah, my generation's opinion. I'm about I believe about 5 years older than Tom, but we're part of the same generation. And yeah, I mean, I guess millennials and later, it just gets worse. And the thing is millennials are basically raising, the next generation. So it would make sense that that our generation is basically putting certain ideas into the heads of the younger generations, and that's kind of scary. I mean, the thing is I grew up, I definitely didn't have a whole lot of friends, and I had a lot of people say a lot of things that hurt me. But now it's taken me a lot, but at the end of the day, I am for freedom of speech, and I've had to come to terms with, if you want to have a voice, you have to let other people have a voice too. And like, you can't just, I don't believe in canceling people. I mean, I do think that we should teach kids in school to be more respectful of each other, and that you don't need to go out of your way to make people feel bad about themselves. But you also shouldn't teach them that they can't say anything at all. I mean, it's just kind of like, it's a fine line. And I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't speak as a parent, but I could speak as someone who was once a kid and once was affected by other people. And the thing is I mean, if you had asked me that time, I'd be like, you know, crack down on it. It's like, if you were in school, when I was in school, I don't know about now, but if you tell the teacher or anybody, or, they pretty much don't do anything. They might act like they're going to talk to the person and say, oh, don't, and this is how I always imagined it. Like, oh, don't do that. No, you're good. No, that's fine. No, do not do that. Naughty. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like it never did any good. And actually, in some ways, it might have made it worse. And maybe it's just that whole thing about getting a reaction out of somebody. And the thing is the funny thing is one of the things I like the most about Tom is that he pokes the bear. So it's kind of funny, but the thing is just knowing what I know about Tom's history, and he was bullied himself, so I don't feel like he's saying we should be bullying people for the heck of it. It's just saying that, people are so, you can't say anything because they are offended by everything. And I know how sensitive I've been in my life and still am. And even I say that it's like gone too far. So, I mean, put that into perspective, people. If somebody who's extremely sensitive and can cry at the drop of a hat is saying you're like taking it too far, you're probably taking it too far. Anyway, let's go back to the song.
Y'all so intolerant. They're ashamed of themselves because they're privileged and white, or they're black and the opposite. You get charged with harassment for hugging a woman or giving a compliment. Y'all wait.
Yep. Yeah, along the lines of that, it's like, I know that there was that whole thing with Blizzard, Activision, and because they had some problems in their workplace, they completely took stuff out of World of Warcraft. I was looking at some of the stuff that they removed, and it was like, really? Just, kind of like jokes, just kind of double entendres, nothing so bad, just stuff that's just kind of funny, but doesn't necessarily, not exactly blatant, but also what it was supposed to mean, be like a dirty joke kinda. And I like that kind of humor. I mean, that's my thing. And I don't understand why people are so weird about that these days. I mean, I grew up fairly sheltered and innocent, and I wouldn't exactly say that I'm not now either. I'm still fairly innocent now. So it's funny how you can't make a joke, and like you said, you'll get charged with harassment if you give a woman a compliment. I mean, I think it's hard to take compliments, and I might be skeptical and be not believe somebody and be like, is this some kind of weirdo or something? But that's just a personal thing, just because I didn't grow up getting a lot of male attention, so of course, when you don't grow up getting that, it's just like, where do you suspect that, this must be some kind of person with some kind of, you know, interesting, interest. I don't want to say word that has to do with attraction, because I don't know if that'll get this video. But interesting interest, attracting interest. Anyway, back to the song.
Too sensitive yet, offended to death. Bring all the coffins in. I swear that y'all are mad at everything that don't affect your life. Hey, I swear that y'all believe that being offended just means that you're right. Hey, I swear that y'all just want to be the only ones who everyone lies. Hey, I swear if I swear at you ninnies, you probably so triggered you cry. And nobody wants to be real. Everyone's scared of how everyone feels. We become so ultra sensitive and hyper tolerant that honestly, honesty gonna be illegal. It's crazy.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. I don't know what to think about, like, where everything's going. Like, I really hope that it doesn't get that bad, because I kind of like, being able to have a voice, and I'm kind of new on my journey. I hate when people use that term. My journey of, like, using my voice and trying to, use that voice to make content, and I hope to expand that content and, get into, making more of my own content where I talk about things I think about and care about. So I hope we don't get to that point where you literally can't say anything.
Y'all get so shocked and bothered from people saying things that aren't responsible. If that seems logical, y'all are weak then. If someone says retard, it ruins your weekend. And that's retarded. My hair been in braids because it looks...
Sorry, that actually makes me think of my boyfriend. Okay, that could sound really wrong. No, but seriously, like, I remember when one time he was on, we were on the phone with his case manager a few years back, and the guy was, like, talking about something about his case and something about it in his records, and he was literally like, I think he was literally, like, worried about bringing up the fact that in his records, like, I guess, his past records has lists him as, like, these days it's called intellectual disability, but I guess, however many years back it was, like MR, mental R. And there are certain words I don't use, not because I think it's like, like you should have to censor yourself. It's just, I don't know, I feel a little about it. But my boyfriend, he just laughs. Like, literally, he just laughs about it. Like, he's like, I can use that word because it applies to me. So, it's like, I think that people who do have different abilities, people, they don't take it as seriously as people think. It's the other people that take it seriously. It's the people outside. It's kind of like with race. If you look at some of these, like, big city protests and stuff, a lot of times, like Tom would say, they're, sipping on Starbucks and, tweeting from their iPhones, and they're, white kids. So it really has nothing to do with them, and they're, like, getting all butthurt over it. So, yeah, I don't know, but let's get back.
Seems logical, y'all are weak then. If someone says retard, it ruins your weekend. And that's retarded. My hair been in braids because it looks hella awesome. Y'all like to scream I appropriate culture, but I don't hear nothing. I'm paying homage.
which culture would that be? I realize that braids go back to African culture. I mean, I just actually looked it up before I did this video. But you know, I've played at least one game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it is Vikings, and they have braids, and that's pretty old. And obviously that was like Norse culture. So which culture is he appropriating? I mean, looking at him, he could totally, like, I don't know, obviously I don't know every white person in the world's background, but he could totally, you know, he has the blonde hair, he could totally be Norse. I mean, I don't think you have to be Norse even to wear braids, but, you know, it's funny how people, for one thing, I feel like even on TV shows back in the early 2000s or late 90s, whatever, it was a lot about I feel like there was a stress of a focus on cultural appreciation, and I feel like even growing up, it was cultural appreciation. And now it's like all about cultural appropriation. Like, if you're a white person, don't you dare, do anything that could be remotely considered culturally appropriating something. It's like, we're the United States. We are everything. Like, we come together. Why are you trying to tear that apart and make everybody just, divide into groups and, oh, this group can't do this because that's somebody else's thing. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Not at all. But, yeah. And I mean, if you think about it, he definitely has the Viking spirit in a way. I mean, well, I don't know. They definitely, okay, I don't know a whole lot about the actual history, but based on, the little bit I've, experienced, like, as far as, like, historical gameplay kind of stuff, I feel like the spirit of it is, like, conquering new territories, and I mean, if anything, Tom is totally conquering the music industry, like, on his own terms. You can't get much more Viking than that. I mean, I don't know. I might be just saying weird things, but let's get back.
Braids cause it looks hella awesome. Y'all like to scream I appropriate culture, but I don't hear nothing. I'm paying homage. Y'all are just trying to get likes on your comments, googling quotes that are socially conscious, and saying you're woke doesn't make you a prophet, it makes you a liar, you stupid obnoxious.
Always on that blah blah. Y'all should keep it to yourselves. Mix me with that drama. You must think I'm someone else. Y'all don't wanna with me,
cause I don't feel the pressure. No, I will not be censored. I'm not afraid, that's why they
with me.
My name will be remembered, and I will live forever. I bet y'all hate that y'all are stuck with me. Happy Halloween for one.
I don't know. I can only speak for myself and the Hangover Gang, but I'm definitely not upset that we're stuck with Tom. I could listen to Tom literally all day and all night. I mean, yeah. I mean, not that I don't like other music. I appreciate, other music. It's just, but I have grown such a connection with the music, and it's kind of like I found something that I could really relate to, and not just the political stuff, and not even especially the political stuff, a lot of the mental health subjects, songs, So yeah, I don't know.
Evening only, you wear what you want. Unless it's a poncho, a headdress, or afro, you'll piss someone off. Hey, I said.
Oh yeah. I don't have many pictures from when I was younger, but I actually found one of the few pictures I brought was me as a little kid. I believe, I'm not sure if that was the one. I know when I was a little kid that at least once I went as a gypsy, and I know these days that would be considered like cultural appropriation. But when you're a little kid, that's a million miles away from anything you're thinking about. If you see something that looks cool and colorful, that's that's what you're kind of, you think that looks cool. You're not thinking, oh, let me make fun of this. That's like the furthest thing from your mind. So I just don't understand that.
Merry Christmas, but I know that it's about to be gone. If religious freedom's such a dire issue, why you dress like a priest in October for fun? Don't let them censor your thoughts. Don't let them make you regret that you talked. Don't let them tell you that nice is the law, trying to make you all righter when nothing is wrong. Yeah, words hurt you, clothes hurt you, memes hurt you, jokes hurt you, we hurt you. Half the time you don't even probably know what hurt you, but you're super mad. Trust, we heard you. You a pawn in a broken system. Are you triggered much? You've been showing symptoms. Y'all are so addicted to being hopeless victims. Y'all can crash a plane and blame the road conditions. And your only sickness is your social vision. Makes you scared of choices, but you pro decision.
Hold on, let me go back just a bit, I think.
Go piss someone off. Hey, I said Merry Christmas, but I know that it's about to be gone. If religious freedom's such a dire issue, why you dress like a priest in October for fun? Don't let them censor your thoughts. Don't let them make you regret that you talked.
That is a big one for me. Obviously, as somebody who wants to make content and really wants to voice my opinions and thoughts. It's not that I want to make other people feel bad or anything, but I'd like people to see things from my perspective. And I feel like I have a perspective that nobody or a lot of other people don't have. And I know that I enjoy watching reaction channels and YouTube channels of people from different backgrounds. And they inspire me to want to put myself out there because, I mean, I don't see many people who are doing reactions that I feel like know where I'm coming from in my mind. So I think maybe, there's a place for people from different backgrounds and people who look different and etc., just everything all together. And I just feel like these days it's kind of risky to say what you think because people are going to get mad, or even worse, because, that's fine, Sometimes people getting mad is what brings in views, so it's not always bad, but I think that worse is that you could literally get cut off by, the site you're on. By the way, I did create a Rumble, and I kind of synced up my channel to that, so not all my stuff is currently synced over there, but I guess it takes a long time to do it there. But so I am over there too if I get enough people following me over there, which I believe I have that in my page information. I'm not sure, but anyway, it'd be cool if you like me over there, because if I get enough people, maybe I could do some stuff that is more free speech oriented. Anyway, back to the song, because this is really long already.
Don't let them tell you that nice is the lie, trying to make you all righter when nothing is wrong. Yeah, words hurt you, clothes hurt you, memes hurt you, jokes hurt you, we hurt you. Half the time you don't even probably know what hurt you, but you super mad. Trust we heard you. You a pawn in a broken system. Are you triggered much? You been showing symptoms. Y'all are so addicted to being hopeless victims. Y'all can crash a plane and blame the road conditions. And your only sickness is your social vision. Makes you scared of choices, but you pro decision. So you march a lot, but never go the distance. Yelling way too loud until no one listens.
Always on that blah, blah. Y'all should keep it to yourselves. Miss me with that drama. You must think I'm someone else. Cause y'all don't wanna with me.
Cause I don't feel the pressure. No, I will not be censored. I'm not afraid, that's why they
with me.
My name will be remembered, and I will live forever. I bet y'all hate that y'all are
stuck with me.
You look like the devil, you sound like some Christians. You just want a medal for asking permission. You just want a pat on the back in addition to being so tolerant. Fine, I admit it, you're nicer, you're better, you're righter, you're brilliant. Most sensitive creatures in all of existence. My freedom of thought should be censored with prison. The world would be better if we weren't so different.
That's so ironic, because I thought that we were always taught that, to, be yourself, and that the world would be boring if everyone looked the same and was the same. Yet people fall into that line pretty quickly. I mean, I just think back at college, and I used to kind of joke with myself in my own head that so many of the girls looked so similar. Like, when I'm talking white girls here, this is not a race thing. Just like, as a white girl looking at other white girls, it's like they all wore similar clothes, wore similar hairstyles, and yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because I totally stand out from that and have never looked like that I can definitely see how so many people tend to fall in line with, being the same. And I don't think being different is really that bad. I mean, the only bad thing about being different is other people's judgments of that. And yeah, I don't know.
Always on that blah, blah. Y'all should keep it to yourselves. Miss me with that drama. You must think I'm someone else. Cause y'all don't wanna with me.
Cause I don't feel the pressure. No, I will not be censored. I'm not afraid, that's why they
with me.
My name will be remembered, and I will live forever. I bet y'all hate that y'all are
stuck with me.
So yeah, this is a half-hour video. Wow. Yeah, a lot to say. It's just this is my second in my politically correct / politically incorrect song thing. And while they aren't exactly the same thing, the first one was more like, talking about, political correctness and how we basically, whatever side we're on, we think that that's the end all be all. But, Tom's is obviously a lot about people getting all butthurt over everything now. But I feel like it's a long time coming. And obviously, you have a song from 23 years ago that was picking up some of the same elements. And it's only gotten worse. It's pretty much led up to Tom's politically incorrect and talking about how now you can't say anything because everybody's so divided and so closed-minded to other people's opinions and thoughts. And that's just not cool. We should be able to say what we want to. Now, don't be a butthole. I mean, say what you think, but there's nothing wrong with having tact. I mean, freedom of speech, you shouldn't use as a weapon. I mean, but you also shouldn't be, like, censored. You shouldn't have to self-censor. You should be able to say what you feel comfortable saying and what you think. But at the same time, if you feel like, okay, yeah, maybe I could say things in a more tactful way. Like, I feel like Tom is actually pretty darn good at that. Like, he can be way out there with it, but compared to some of the other artists that are in the same, like, kind of political rap, I love the ones that are more, like, out in your face, like, not afraid to say, like, take a stance on something. But I like how Tom does it because I feel like the way he does it is trying to call out all the inconsistencies, and the message is to, bring us together and not tear us apart. Like I said, I actually like some of the political rap that's more, you know, you know, not afraid to take a stance. And I don't think Tom's afraid to take a stance. The thing is he's not political. I mean, as far as, like, partisan. So it's definitely different. But considering he's Canadian, so he didn't grow up in America, like, so I'd say, I can imagine it's quite a bit different than some of these artists that were born and raised in the United States, and they happen to take a certain stance. And I think there's room for all of them. And I think everyone should just say what they want. And there's a place for people to be, like, in your face and aggressive about it. But then there's a place for people like Tom, who is definitely not afraid to say what he thinks, but will also sometimes walk that tightrope between, in the middle. And I appreciate that because I've always felt like I was more in the middle, and now I don't even know what the middle is anymore. I feel like there is it's kind of hard to say what the middle is anymore, because the whole system is just insane anymore. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and hope if anybody saw this till the end, please like and leave a comment and any of your thoughts. And I just unbelievable if anybody actually made it through almost a 35-minute video. But anyway, I will end this now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.